This is a story from the Word of God. Abner was the general of Saul's armies. He'd been general of Saul's armies for many years. Saul had a child. His name was Ishbosheth, and after Saul died, Ishbosheth became king of Israel, the northern tribes. Joab was the general of David's armies. David was anointed king over Judah, and so David's armies, commanded by Joab, and Saul's armies, commanded by Abner, went to battle. They met by the pool of Gibeon. At the pool of Gibeon, the armies decided to use 12 strong men to do battle, and the 12 men stood side by side as they were preparing for battle. And because there was so much treachery and animosity between the two armies, the men drew their swords, and instead of fighting fairly, they stabbed each other in the side, and the 12 men died. This led to a tremendous battle between the armies of David, led by Joab, and the armies of Saul, led by Abner. Abner and his men were facing overwhelming odds and were being defeated, so Abner decided to flee. Joab had two brothers. The one that we're most concerned about is Asahel. And Asahel was very famous as a warrior because he was the fastest runner. Everybody knew he was the fastest man. And Asahel decided to pursue Abner to capture him, to end the war. And so Asahel, with all his speed, was catching up to Abner, and Abner warned Asahel. He said, "Stop! Don't pursue me any longer. You need to stop." And Asahel would not stop. So Abner pulled out his spear, and in order to stop him, he used the backside of his spear to stop Asahel from pursuing him. But instead of stopping him, Abner's spear, the back end of Abner's spear, ran Asahel through, and Asahel died. Abner continued his flight and tried to convince to stop. And when Joab found his brother Asahel was dead, he blew the trumpet, and his men halted their pursuit of Abner and Saul's men. This did not end the war. The war raged on between the men of Saul, King Ishbosheth, and the men of David, who were commanded by Joab, and the battle raged on. During the specific battle between Abner and Joab, the armies of Saul lost 360 men, and the armies of David only lost 19 men plus Asahel. And so, but as the battle went on, the armies of Saul became weaker and weaker, and the armies of David became stronger and stronger. While this was happening, David resided in Hebron, and while he was in Hebron, he had 6 more sons.